Each a returning champion, Elgintensity, aka Trap Dolph Hitchler. And all of this is Sonali Rashatoire, aka the Fat Sex Therapist on Instagram. The fact that she has any insight into sex proves that anything is possible, especially if you graze at enough bars at last call. As you can see, the majority of her posts are pithy quotes that give body acceptance cultists new ways to be offended every day. Notably, the Doughnut Queen doesn't have any donuts in her online feed, just her barnyard one. She recently gave a 2-hour speech about fat phobia at St. Olaf College, which apparently has the 7th best campus food in the US. I can guess where her next 6 speaking engagements will be. I don't have access to her entire speech, just her most edgy quotes. First, she said, "I truly believe that a child cannot consent to being on a diet the same way a child cannot consent to having sex." The so-called non-binary queer unicorn didn't state that children shouldn't be able to consent to gender reassignment as well. No, slapping a Hot Pocket out of a kid's hand does more harm somehow. What's next? Parents can't tell kids to go to school because it forces them to learn? The YouTube fitness community is overcrowded as it is. It's no surprise that someone who would compare a basic parenting duty to a statutory crime has no legal education whatsoever, or that this constantly expanding waste of space went to a university called Widener. She continued, "I experience diet culture as a form of assault because it impacts the way that I experience my body. Anything that impacts her body is basically a meteorite. A healthy, sustainable diet improves the way you experience your body. It's more fun to do the two-step when you haven't lost a foot due to diabetes." She assaults her own body by eating too much and never exercising. In addition, she ignored the connection between high blood pressure and obesity and claimed that intentionally pursuing weight loss is impossible, to which one of the freshmen in attendance, who lost over 100 pounds, said, "Hold my beer." He even stayed awake long enough to point out the many ways she twisted the science that we all learned by junior high. The only time I'd ever watch a loony therapist in skin-tight clothes rant for 2 hours is if she looked like Harley Quinn. She compared the science suggesting that obesity is unhealthy to eugenics, and then compared anyone who promotes it to Yahtzees. I can't say the word she actually used because it's also found in this word. When my obese online coaching clients lift with bad form, skip workouts, or sneak in calories, I do roast them for their weakness, but not literally. Besides, encouraging a healthy lifestyle change isn't the same as trying to sterilize obese people or otherwise stop them from breeding. According to the National Institutes of Health, they're doing a fine job of that themselves. Obese men have a harder time getting it up, and obese couples have a harder time making piglets whenever they make bacon. That feel when big chunguses can't breed like rabbits. Next, she claimed that fitness contributed to the recent Christchurch shooting, and that people should challenge the rule of law and the police. The Doughnut Queen doesn't like police officers, and I thought Samson Fletcher avoided competitors. Specifically, she linked the Christchurch, New Zealand shooter's actions to his job as a personal trainer and an obsession with an idealized body. But if he wanted to shoot ham planets, then he wouldn't have gone to a mosque, he would have gone to a makas. Finally, she said that being expected to take responsibility for her own well-being is part of Reagan-era policies, and that her trough of slop should be subsidized. And I thought Sansa Stark had a tough time feeding giant beasts. Sonali goes by they. What do they eat anyway? Whatever they want? This is the real-world preparation that a lot of college kids are getting. Some dipshit telling them that putting kids on nutritious diets is child abuse, watching how much they weigh is oppressive, and medical science is fake news. She said to challenge authority, but not on her Instagram because you can't comment there unless you're a follower. I challenge her authority to talk about health when she promotes a destructive idea like fat acceptance. She claims to free people from social norms, but setting up vulnerable, blubbery groups to die early isn't liberating, it's predatory. Like the video and subscribe to the channel, now.
Everybody drugs them body sometime. Everybody tries the gear somehow.